Hey, everybody. It's your lovely Lotus Blossom Lizzie. And today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different than I normally do. And that is, I'm going to kind of just be crafting and chit-chatting with you. And nothing special. This is not a tutorial. However, I'm sure you'll be able to pick up some ideas from some of the things that I'm doing. So before I get started, I always like to request that if these are the type of videos that you like, please make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when more videos like this one come out. So what I'm going to be doing today is, as you may have seen on the thumbnail, I'm going to be making some things to go into my actual book and onto my actual, not only books, but into the journals. And one thing, if you are a journal maker or you just like things like for scrapbooking, you know that sometimes it just takes time to make your ephemera, to put it in. So what I decided to do was to make 20 pieces of ephemera a day. So it doesn't matter what it was. I decided I'm going to make 20 pieces of ephemera so that I could kind of build up or, stockpile my ephemera. So when I'm making books, I can just kind of shove things into the book. So this is a great way to make some really quality type of ephemera for any project that you have. So what I'm going to be using, again, this is not really a tutorial. I'm just going to start making some stuff. But I was working last night, and what I'm using is basically, the basis of it is just some offcuts from some of my coffee dyed paper. So I had some books and I had to cut off some of the pages, and so I just saved them. I've had like these forever. I had tons of them, and so I've been trying to figure out a way to use them, and now I'm using them. And also I have like some full sheets here that I can make some things with as well. So I pulled those out, and they have lots of different patterns on them. And so you can get these over in my shop as well, or you can make them. They're coffee dyed pages, or you can go over to Pleasant Creations and you can pick those up as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of get started, and I'm just going to kind of chat with you, and I'll tell you what I'm doing. But like I said, this is not really a tutorial. So let me just move some of this stuff off my desk. So the first thing that I want to do is just I'll kind of show you what I have been kind of up to. Because I was talking with somebody last night, and I just decided I was just gonna, I call this like mindless crafting. I was doing some mindless crafting while I was talking. Hi Janet, how are you doing today? Thanks for joining me. And so I call mindless crafting like things that you can do while you're watching TV, or, you're just chit-chatting with somebody and, just shooting the poop, so to speak. And so the first thing I did, I was like, okay, I got these pages. What am I going to do with them? And then I just started ripping them up, and I came up with like just some blank sheets that didn't have anything on it like this. And then I took my stamps out and I started stamping on them. And then I took out some of my ephemera that I've been, again, stockpiling and putting together. And I just started gluing things together, and it came out with some beautiful pieces. And I thought that I would share them also. So hi, Deb's Craft Corner. That sounds like an interesting name, Deb's Craft Corner. I might have to check out your channel if you have out any videos. Sometimes I go and I look at other people's channels when they comment as well. So I'm gonna have to. I love watching YouTube. Okay. Anyway, so these are some of the pieces that I made, and I made them with these little bitty seed packet images that I have here. And like I said, at first it was going to be like some plain pages, and then it turned into something more beautiful. And these are like little pieces that you can just kind of like stick into tuck spots, or you can glue onto the page, or you can paper clip on, and all that good stuff. And then With these, I think what I'm going to do is just do like just some stamping on these and kind of leave them in a blank way. But they look like really like vintagey type of pages, doesn't it? All right, Debbie. Thank you for letting me know what your name is. Sometimes you can tell what people's names are and sometimes you can't. So if you are watching this on the replay, this is being recorded live. So I'm actually chatting to the people that are in the chat area. So again, I'm just gonna be like start working through some of the stuff. I mindlessly cut up some of this stuff already. So this is what they started out with. So I got these. This is a We Are Memory Keepers tear guide, and it actually had 3 tear guides in the pack. And I really love this particular one, and it gives you like some really good edges. And I have some scissors, some Fisker scissors that are supposed to kind of do this, but they don't do a good job. They get on my nerves. So when I got this, I was kind of excited to try it out, and it works like really well. As you can see, that's how I got my little ragged edges, my vintagey ragged edges. Hey, Vanessa, long time no see. How are you doing? And you can see it's easy for me to just take up just a little sliver off the sides because I don't need a big piece of paper. And I kind of been on this kick where I like making things where you can journal on them, the decorations you can journal on. I don't know what it is. I'm kind of a practical kind of person, and I like to be able to actually use what I like to use what I'm making. And so if it's like this little piece is purely for decoration, but then something like this you can actually journal on. So I definitely like making these little pieces, and you can see how easy it is. So it took me like a few seconds to kind of make some of these. And then the next thing that I did was I just took out my vintage photo here. Got something on there. Vintage photo, and then distress the edges with that. Oh, I hope you're feeling better if you're sick, Vanessa. I don't like for anybody to be sick. I'm doing fantastic, and it's nice and sunny in Florida, as you can see by the looks of my desk. Because I got the window open, so it's a lot of light coming in, and it's nice outside. But I haven't really been outside today. I did have to go out, and then I came back in. And then, ooh, y'all, let me tell you. I've been down here in Florida for many, many, many years. And I didn't originate from here. But I went out in my garage today, and I saw a spider, you all. Not just any spider. It was a black widow spider in my garage. And it almost gave me a heart attack because I'm terrified of spiders. But at the same time, if I see them, it's like it's a hunt because I don't want to see the spiders ever again. So I have to figure out how to get them. So of course, I got like I got my can of bug spray out, and I sprayed the whole can on it, and it died. I didn't want to have to kill it, but he was like in my territory, so I don't have a choice. I just hope that there's not a second one in a second location someplace. But that just goes to show you have to be careful when you have things like in an attic or in a garage. You know, you have to be careful where you put your hands at, because you never know what little critters then came in and staked their claim and made their home in your spot. So definitely want to be careful about that. So that's all that I've been doing today, is thinking about that big nasty looking spider. Ugh. It was a killer, you all. It was a killer for me, because that's all I could think about. And you know what? I'm not even sure if it was a black widow spider, because I was just like terrified, and I just wanted to get away, and I didn't want to even look it up on the internet, because I don't want to see spiders on my screen. I don't know how you all feel about spiders, but I don't want to see them on my screen personally. If I don't have to. I guess I'm not totally terrified, but I don't like spiders. Never have, never will. I remember watching a Project Runway show, and they had the models had to like model with tarantulas. I would have had to quit the show no matter how much money it was, because they had it like on their face and stuff. That was like totally scary and ridiculous. I probably would have started having like some heart palpitations or something. So I'm just going to rip up a whole bunch of these, and you can see there's no rhyme or reason to the sizes that I'm making these, because I really didn't know what I was going to be using them for. And at the time when I was doing this little mindless activity, I just wasn't giving it too much thought. And I guess when you are doing junk journaling, that's kind of the nice thing about junk journaling. It's like you don't have to give these things too much thought when it comes to paper crafting. Because if you are a junk journaler and you like junk journals, then you are a paper crafter. And I'm a paper crafter, and I love paper. And I had my journal out as well, and I was just looking at it, and I was just thinking, it's just something about like journals just kind of like ignite your senses, is what I always say. I love looking at them. I love like just feeling all the textures that I put inside with my hands, even some smells that come out. I remember doing a page in my junk journal, and I had attempted, and I say that with a capital A, I attempted to make some textured paste. And to make the textured paste, you have to actually use talcum powder. So I made this textured paste, and what happened was after it dried on the pages, you could actually smell the texture. You could smell the talcum powder. So every time I opened up the book, I could smell it. So that's just kind of like an example of how you can actually smell. I mean, it ignites your senses as far as smell. Now, I can't say that it excites your senses as far as taste goes, because, I'm not tasting any of my pages. I don't have any edible pages. I don't know about you all, but I don't. So I think I'm going to try to do about 20 of these today, because that's my goal again, is to try to do at least 20 pieces of ephemera every day. So this is the one that I'm going to be doing for today. And I'm going to tell you, I went so far. I'm going to show you guys something. Let me show you. I went as far as, because like when you're doing the junk journals as well, it's like you can kind of get caught up in like what ephemera you're going to make. And it's just like you'll start doing one piece and you don't really get finished with it, and you start doing another piece, and then you forget what you did, and you saw a video of some things that you wanted to do, and then it's crazy. And so what I did was I took this little notebook that I made, and I made this with some Trivial Pursuit cards, and I bound it, and I used like some scraps. You can see some scrap pages in here. It's like so cute. And I just used this for myself. And what I did was I numbered the pages like 1, 2, yep, this is my sloppy handwriting, 3, 4, like that. And I went all the way to 30, and then I went back and I put some more numbers on here. And on each page, I know this is kind of hard to read, but because I have like some seriously sloppy handwriting. But what I did was on each page I put a type of ephemera on here. So this one says book pages for mini journals, and then number 2 says glue book pages. So what I decided to do, if I kind of got stuck on what kind of ephemera I was going to make for the day, I would look, okay, and I would say today is the 27th, which I don't know if today's the 27th or not, but today's the 27th. I'm going to look at the page that says 27 and see what type of ephemera that I have on there, and then make 20 pieces from that ephemera, if that makes sense. So that way I wouldn't kind of get stuck, and I would still kind of be building my massive stockpile of ephemera. So when my books start rolling out, once I do the covers and the pages, all I have to do is just go into my ephemera and get it going. So I hope you all are having a wonderful weekend, resting and relaxing. I feel very relaxed today, and I know I haven't been on live consistently in a while, and that's because usually on Sundays it's kind of like a family day, but today I got to stay home, and so if I'm gonna stay home, I usually am doing some mindless crafting. You could say, or doing some work, but today I just wanted to do like some mindless crafting. Come on, chit chat, talk about anything or nothing at all, and just kind of get my 20 pieces done, because that's what this is all about. So you could even, I've also kind of done this with like some receipt pages, some old receipts. I had some old receipts from a cash register that I had many years ago, and I had it in storage, and the cash register no longer worked, but I was able to like sell it for parts, and I had like this whole box of receipts, and they had been in storage as well. And originally the receipts were white, but since they were in storage for so long, they actually turned brown. So every now and then I'll pull those receipts out, and I'll use those as ephemera as well, because I just go in and do some stamping on them, and they look very lovely once they are finished. So what are you all working on today? Are you doing any mindless crafting today, or purposeful crafting? I guess you could say this is purposeful crafting. It might not be considered mindful crafting. It's definitely going to have a use. And I've been watching so many people like using up their paper pads and using their scraps, and it's very inspirational and motivating when I see those. So usually when I'm doing something like this, I'll actually be watching some YouTube channels, some of my favorite YouTube channels. You'll see how this vintage photo just kind of transforms those edges. They actually look kind of burnt. I wonder if I use like a walnut stain, which is supposed to be darker, how that will look. All right, so I think we have enough of these to work on for now. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to do a little stamping. Let's see if I can find the stamps that I took out. What did I do with these? All right, so I took some of my stamps out here that I think I'm going to use. I'm not sure. And here we go. This stamp, these are the ones I was using yesterday. So I'm going to use these. And I can't tell you which stamp pack this was from because I don't remember. Because I have a bad habit of taking things loose and throwing away the packaging. I feel like after I get it, I'm not getting rid of it anytime soon, so it doesn't matter. So I get rid of it, so I can't even tell you where I got it from. Aren't these some cool packs? I did a video on this. I made these with some folders, some pocket folders from the dollar store. So I might put a link to it if I can find it later. All right, so let's just take one of these, And I pulled out a few of my ink pads. This one is the Color Box. Put my glasses back on. This is Color Box, and it's archival dye, and it's a green color. What color is this? Khaki green. And then I took out some Rain Cloud, which is a Ranger pad. And I think I got both of these from Tuesday mornings. I love going to Tuesday mornings. I always find some good stuff there. So I'm going to do the green one first. Let's see how this is going to come out. And I'm just going to stamp at the top. Got a little bit of a shadow, but it's okay. And I'm going to do a few of these with the Hello Sunshine. Doesn't that sound so positive? Hello, sunshine. Hi, Shannon. Yeah, those spiders are something else. And any bug bigger than it should be. Yeah, I'm not down with the spiders. Yeah, and I don't feel that bad because he was in the garage and not in my house. So if I ever found a spider in my house that was that big, oh my goodness, I would have to move out. I don't know if you ever seen, like, there's a meme out there. It's like if you find one of those big old camel spiders in your house, just burn the house down. That's how it would be. I would have to just like burn the house down because I don't think I can handle it. Sorry for all the noise in the background here. I'm just getting like a baby wipe. I'm on an attempt to try to clean up behind myself because my crafting usually leads to a big mess when I'm done. So let's do this one next. So I'll try to kind of like go back and forth between the stamps. I won't have like a bunch of the same stamps. So I'm going to put this one at the bottom. Look how pretty this page is. It has like this nice little ring on it. And I'm trying to monitor the chat at the same time I'm doing this. It has this nice ring on it. And it just looks so cute. So I could technically, was my intent, was just to do this much and be finished with it. And of course, my mind just kept on going. So that's where I am today in my mindless craft mind. Doing these. I used to come on Sunday and do my coloring. I haven't colored in a long time. I miss it too. I have to get back to my coloring. I decided, I've done like a lot of ephemera off camera, but I decided that I'm just going to come on and start doing some of the ephemera while I'm on with you all. Instead, why not? And then you could pick up some ideas as well. Ooh. All right, I'm going to finish with that one for the moment. Yeah, I think all crafters have a disaster because it's like you don't want to keep getting up and putting things back, and you just kind of just leave things where they are until you're like done, and then after that you're like totally exhausted. And you don't want to go and clean up. So that's my life anyway. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. It's like I don't want to clean up sometimes after I get done because I just want to craft. I don't want to clean up. That's my life. My life as a crafter, a paper crafter too. Because not only do you have a mess, but it's like things that you don't want to throw away after that. You still want to keep everything. I know I do. That's why I still have all these papers, because the papers were so beautiful. I was just thinking, that what a waste that would be if I threw those away. So some of these, look how beautiful that page is. So some of these, I'll probably just leave them as is, and I'll just use them in the book. And when you see things like just standalone, you really don't really have an idea of how beautiful it's going to look once it comes together on the pages with everything. put this up here. All right, I'm gonna switch to another one now. So it's nice to have like stamps in all different sizes. So when you do stuff like this, you can just like pick out a few of them and you pick out the size that you want, and then you could just go for broke. So in this case, I just went and I just found some appropriate stamps to do this. Now, and I love stamping. For a while, I didn't even know what a stamp was until, of course, I was watching somebody's YouTube channel, and then I started getting into the stamps. I still don't have a lot, but I have enough to make me happy. That's what counts. You gotta have enough crafting stuff to make you happy. I try not to overdo it, but sometimes that doesn't happen either. I think our craft room is just bustling with stuff, because you don't want to have to go out to the store and get stuff. You want to like have all your supplies already handy when you get ready to do things. So I have a few more of these to stamp, and I am kind of taking my time doing this, I have to say. Why not? I always feel like I need to be in a rush. I think everybody is that way, where they feel like they need to rush to do things. But we really don't have to rush to do things. It's like our mind is always going, and sometimes you just have to give your mind some peace and say, I don't have to rush to do that. And whenever I come on and I do like a live video, I always feel like I have to rush. I don't know why. Because I don't have anything else to do today. So I'm not rushing. And I'm not talking about the Russian from overseas. I'm not a Russian. I'm going to take my time and do this and try not to think about that big honking spider that I saw earlier that terrified my life for a few seconds. These are coming out pretty good, and I have a nice little pal. All right, let me switch again. And then in a moment, I'm going to start gluing some stuff on. But I'm trying to do this kind of in assembly line fashion, because I think that's how you can get things done a little bit quicker too, when you do things in assembly line fashion. And like I said, I'm not in any rush. You could do this also with like craft paper. You could do it like with regular paper. And I guess my goal with this originally was just to have some additional spaces to journal. Because sometimes the pages that we make in the journals is like there's nowhere to write on it, because it's all like background. And so I want to make sure that every page has some kind of space or something that you can take out, and you can kind of journal on that piece. So you could journal on that, because I don't think you have to attempt to write like a whole dissertation in your journal. Just a few lines is good. And then you just pick another spot and you write a few more lines in another spot, and so on and so on and so on. Look at that wonderfulness on the page there. I like that. All right. And then last one for today. And I'll probably have more than 20 when I get finished. Okay, so again, this kind of started last night. This project started last night while I was mindlessly chit-chatting with somebody on Skype. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do on these long ones. Let me split some of these up. On some of these long ones, I'm going to do some more stamping, because they still seem like they need a little something. And on these, where I did on the side, I'm just going to leave these the way they are. See, they came out kind of like very pretty. So I'm going to put those over on the side there. And then the short ones, we're going to do something with those. So it's just... So as you can see, like already I can use these the way that they are, which is nice. So if you did this, something like this, then no, you would have like lots of ephemera, unique pieces that you can use in your own journals too. So use your stamps. I say stamps make me feel like, they make me feel like an artist, because I can do some things like my handwriting is not that great, and I can't really draw anything, so not free-handed anyway. Okay. So now let me just stamp this one too, because I missed one. And then I could move on to my next step. I went to a thrift store. I'm going to ask you guys if you think I missed a window of opportunity. I went to a thrift store and they had, I guess they are Stampin' Ups, like roller. They were like roller stamps. They didn't come with the piece that you put on to actually roll the stamps out, and so I didn't get them. And they had a ton of them, but they were to me they were a little pricey, and so I didn't buy them. And I don't know if those are like discontinued stamps or what, but I wanted to know if any of you have any of those. I've seen the Frugal Crafter, I've seen in her craft room where she had some, and I was just like, no, I was being a cheapskate that day, and I did not want to pay the money for it. So I don't know if I missed out or not. I don't know if anybody else has those or not. Let me just grab some paper. If I can find some scrap paper. Alright, here's a good scrap. And let's put you over here. And this time I'm going to use the Ranger Rain Cloud. And so on these, I want to leave some space to be able to actually write on these. So I'm just gonna, let me see if I can bring this down a little bit so y'all can really see what I'm doing here. So I'm gonna not use like this whole big old hunkin' stamp, but a part of it. So that's why I got the paper out. And I'm just gonna kind of do like a off the edge stamping. And when I'm stamping, I always like to just leave. That came out good, actually. And then let's do, I like to try to leave the stamp down for just a little bit and make sure the paper and everything connect. Ta-ta! Now I can use that. You can write on the front or you can write on the back. That is lovely. So this one, I think I'm gonna leave that the way it is. So I'm just gonna probably just put like some florals on here, and I didn't want to take up too much room because again, I want to leave some space. But these are some nice stamps because the lines are like really thin. And then, since they're thin, you can write over the top of them also. Ta-da, like that. See, I'm going overboard now. She can't stop stamping on here. Let's see here. All right, but of course, there's no way that you could really mess things up. That's for sure. All right, I'm going to change the stamp and try something different because I want to have a variety of things. Oh, that's a great idea, Janet. Janet says that Those stamps, like from Stampin' Up, those roller stamps, she says that she cuts them apart and then uses them. You know what? I didn't even think of that. Janet, where were you when I was looking at those stamps? I'm sure they're gone now because that was a few weeks ago when I saw them. So I'm pretty sure those stamps are no longer there. But that's an excellent idea. I wouldn't even have thought that you could take them apart. So that's interesting. I don't own any of the Stampin' Up stamps anyway, but I always see people talking about them. It kind of gets on my nerves, actually. So I'm like, who are these people? Who are these Stampin' Up peoples? So apparently, I guess they're kind of like Tupperware, but in the stamping realm. And people, I guess they sell them like Tupperware, the Tupperware representatives, the Stampin' Up representatives. All right, so that's good. So that came out good, right? And I'm not going to color them in or anything like that. I'm going to leave them just the way they are. Let's see. Let's do this one. So my mindless activity has turned into a productive moment. I'm feeling very productive at this point. I've already have several useful pieces that I can take away from this live video. So these are really unique, right? So if you had like some stamps, some different types of stamps, then you could actually make your own and they would definitely be different from everybody else's. All right, so let's put you back on here. And I'll just keep on switching up the stamps that I use. And I'm just randomly putting them on. I'm not giving this any thought because that's what kind of like for me that kind of stops me in the creative process is too much planning on stuff. I'm going to tell you all the very first journal that I did, and this was a few years ago, of course. The first journal that I did, it took me a whole 2 weeks to do it, and I worked on it like 8 hours, 10 hours a day. And it took me 2 weeks to finish that journal. It was ridiculous. But now I can do them faster, but I still want them to have that quality, like it took me forever to do that first one. So I guess when you're first learning how to do them, it's a little bit stifling. But now I'm a lot better at it because practice makes perfect, right? You get the practice. And I love the ways I'm so glad that I decided to use the stamps. Because see, I was going to leave these stamped on the side with nothing on them. But now I feel better that they have like a little something, a little picture on them. Let's do this one. And then I'm going to, and I like going off the edge too. It feels more purposeful, if that makes sense. I think most of the stamps that I got from Tuesday Mornings too. I'm kind of an opportunist when it comes to my crafting stash. And what I mean by that is sometimes I'm not like looking for anything in particular when I'm going out to like the craft stores, or I'm always looking for something in particular when I go to the craft stores, but when I go to like the thrift stores and estate sales and stuff like that, if I have an opportunity to buy some craft thingies, then I do. So that's what I mean by opportunist. So if I find it, then I'll buy it. And I guess Tuesday morning is kind of like that too, because when you see something at Tuesday morning, you got to pick it up. Because if you don't take the opportunity, to pick it up at Tuesday morning, it might be gone the next time. So you got to watch out for that. All right, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm kind of rifling through these, but I'm going to do something different for these little squares. So I'm just working on these long sheets for now. And that way, because I already kind of tested, and the pieces that I want to put on the little sheets, they look best on the smaller ones than the big ones. This is a cute set of flowers, and I can say, even though, do I still have, actually I do have, this one is from the Inka Dinka Do set, and I still have the packaging for that, believe it or not, because that doesn't always happen with me. It's Inka Dinka Do, and you know what, I don't think it has like a name for, oh yes it does. It's 97622 Doodle Flowers is the name of it. So if my camera focuses, you can pause this if you're on the replay, and if that's something that you're interested in, you can get it. But I like these because they look exactly like it says doodles. And I like the thin lines. And I've actually used this set, and I would stamp on something and I take watercolors and color it in. And it looks very, 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 very pretty. At first when I bought the Inka Dinka Doodle stamps, I wasn't like sure if I was going to like the stamps, but because I have a few other sets, but I like their line of stamps. They're kind of cool. And I really need to use my stamps more. I'll say that about everything because I think I give all of my crafting supplies love. Especially when I'm doing the journals. So I like to, because inside of the journals, I like to do lots of things with the coffee dye paper, and then I like to put in little pieces of ephemera, note pages inside, extra note pages. I like putting fabrics in. I like doing the sewing. So I can go ham when it comes to actually the things that I put into the journals. I have just enough stuff to go crazy. Let's just put it that way. I can go crazy. Ooh, it almost got away from me. I actually have one of those. It's not a Misty, but I got I forgot what you call it, like a precision stamp thing where you put the thing in there and you have like the magnets, and then you stamp things. I have one of those. I got it from Tuesday Morning again. I've never seen them before, so we are memory keepers also. But I don't know how I feel about it. Look how that came out. I didn't get the whole thing that time. You know what? So this is what I'm going to do to fix this. Let me find some washi tape. I have a few pieces of washi tape next to me, so I'm just not going to think about it too much, and I'm just going to grab one because I have a lot of washi tape to think about. So I'm just not going to think about the washi tape, and I'm going to grab one, and I'm going to put a little piece on here and see how that looks. This is how my mind works. I just start doing something simple, and then I just start thinking of things I could do. So I'm going to put this little bit of washi tape on here. I didn't want to cover that all the way up, but let's do this. I'm going to make this into a skinny washi tape, I think. I'm going to try. This one is almost like paper. And then this way, then I'm going to take this and put it here. And that doesn't look too crazy. Not in my mind, it doesn't. A random piece of washi on here. Let me go this way. Since I have this other piece, may as well use it. I'm kind of overlapping. And then Get my little scissors out, my baby scissors. I always call them my baby scissors, but they're actually precision scissors by Cricut. I love these little scissors. Okay, so that one's done. Because the stamp didn't come out like I wanted it to, so. Okay, I'm going to change this again. And let's see. I'm going to use, I don't have like my humongous stamp. Oh, yes I do. My humongous stamp block. I only have a few of these left up in the shop, these big stamp blocks. They're nice. I think I only have like 1 or 2 left. I love these things. I always watch people's craft room tours, and a lot of crafters have like a million stamp blocks, and I always wonder, why do they have so many stamp blocks? And I know why now, because if they're like me and they craft all over their house, sometimes I have to go on the hunt to find my to actually find my blocks, which is crazy, but true. This is kind of this one stamp is kind of big for what I'm doing, but I don't care. I'm gonna do it anyway. So I mean, I'm not really wasting that much ink, not in my opinion anyway. Yeah, I'll just leave that one the way it is. Okay, I'm gonna change this. So I'm just kind of using the same one. Okay, I'm gonna change this. I just have a few more that I'm gonna stamp anyway. So I'm gonna put this back right now, or else it's gonna still be out like the other stamps that I have on my desk. Because that's how I roll. I love these little pouches. They make such a big difference. It's so much easier for me to find my stamps now. Now this one has like some little critters on it, but I like this particular one. I like. It does have some spiders on there. I may use some spiders. I'm gonna try to do some Halloween journals this year. Keep my fingers crossed on that one. I always have so many things going on. Sometimes I just don't have time. So I'll probably use the bugs in those. Oh, I went over the hello. That's okay. I think it'll be all right. Gotta be careful. His wings went a little crazy. I don't know how I feel about him. Ooh, I like him. Like, I'm talking about him like he's a person. Maybe I should give him a name. This is, I think, it's not a butterfly. It's a moth. You know what? I haven't seen my butterfly stamp. I need to find that. I also have a die cutting machine that I wanted to test. And I haven't tested that yet either. So I'll probably come on and test that. Well, not just test it, but I need to do some things. I want to try to make some ephemera using the die cutting machine too. Because remember, I said everything gets love in here. Everything. All right. I probably could have did one more with this, but I am not. Let's see. But I don't want a bug on here, so let's put this one back. And I have this pack over here, and it has some florals on it as well. So I'm actually going to use 2 stamps for this one. Let's see how this is going to come out. 2 stamps to make 1 big stamp. Hi Martha, thank you for joining me. Hope you're having a fantastic weekend and you're doing some mindless crafting like me. Or not mindless. Could be a productive crafting day for you. I think this is one of my favorite things to do. So let's just sit and watch YouTube. But today I'm participating on YouTube, which is even better. Okay, so I think that's going to be the last thing that I'm going to stamp. So let me stick these guys back in here, out the way. And all right, so I'm just going to kind of clean up my desk just a little bit, because I think I'm done with those. And you know what? I even thought about keeping like these pieces of paper that I ripped off the edges. I was like, there's got to be something I could do with that. I want to keep everything. Look at that. Isn't it like beautiful little pieces of paper? That's crazy. That's a crafting mind right there. But I'm going to toss those away. And let's put these back also. Now this stamp pack, I don't remember who made it, but I can tell you it was a opportunity when I purchased it, because I know because it has 99 cents on it. So I probably got this from like Goodwill or something like that. So whenever I see stamps, sometimes I get them, because one time I went to Goodwill and they had like this gargantuan, and I do mean gargantuan, pack of stamps. I guess somebody had donated. They were wooden stamps. And it probably was like 50 or 60 of those wooden stamps in it. But they had them all together and they wanted like $60 for it. And I was like, nope. That's an opportunity I can pass up really quick. All right. So the Franken strips. Oh, those little bitty strips. They're so tiny to work with, though. I don't know, Janet. I might actually get frustrated working with those. I don't know. I'm going to think of something. I got an idea. If it works out, I'll let you guys know. So I'm just going through. I took some of my some ephemera that I printed out. And you're going to see some digital kits come up for some of this stuff soon. And so I had like some of these little ladies in here. Maybe I'll use some of those. And kind of like some vintagey. My first inclination is to sew it, but I don't have my sewing machine in here right now. But I could just, I don't know. I want to refrain from sewing it because in some of my newer journals, they have so much sewing in them already. I just want it to be like some different types of textures in there. All right, let's put that back. Or I could use like some florals on here. Again, I'm trying to avoid using the florals because I have so much florals in there as well. I think I'm just going to stick to these for now. So these are like just some little images of some seed packets. So I made them really tiny, like stamp size. And I'm going to glue those on here. Oh, you go this way. So if you glued these on your page, you wouldn't be able to journal on them. But if you didn't, if you just paper clip them on to a page, you can still journal on the back. So there's still journaling opportunities there. That's what I call them, journaling opportunities. And I love these little seed packets too. They are just on the money. I hope I got enough. I printed a few yesterday. And I was just going to kind of stick them in some of the little envelopes that I made, but I think this is kind of like a better way for them to be used. Definitely. All right, let me just put some of it. Let's glue some of these down because they're taking up too much space. So I am going to use my Tombow Mono Aqua glue. Now, who's the lady that I saw using this for the first time? That's why I never say who I actually got the ideas from in some cases, because now this, I didn't get this idea from anybody. I was just kind of just putting things together. But before I do that, I want to do something else. It's hard for me to remember like the YouTubers because I watch so many YouTube videos. It's ridiculous. if I was a little kid, my mother would like put the parental controls on, and she wouldn't let me watch YouTube because I watch YouTube all day long. I don't have cable. I gave up the cable a long time ago. Don't miss it. And so when I have some moments, I usually watch YouTube, or I have it running in the background also. But I saw another junk journal creator, and she uses a lot of this glue, so I got it. And when I first got it, I didn't really like it because it's very, very fluid and it doesn't dry fast. And I don't even know if I will buy it again. It goes on the pages really easy, so that's nice. Because my favorite glue is actually the Aleene's Tacky Glue. But sometimes that stuff is hard to get out because it's so thick. But I know it doesn't take long to dry, and I know stuff is going to stick with it. I love that glue. It's my favorite. But I didn't want to use that today. So I'm using the fluid glue because I think I can get things done a little bit quicker with that. Not that I'm in a rush, because remember, we're not rushing. We're not rushing this job. We're just taking our time. Okay, so, and another nice thing about this glue, this is not a sponsored video. I don't have any links to this. It has two ends. So this side has, I never even tried to use this side. It has like these little, I don't know if you ever seen like for stamps, they have like this little thing, and it has, I can't even explain it. It's like a little rubber stopper thing with some little notches on it. And I'm going to try to use that side and see how that works out. And the other side has a tip. Let me show you. In case y'all wanted to see that, I'm just going to show you. It has a tip. I usually use this side the most. But I'm going to try this side because I never used it. So it's the first time me using it. I'm using it with you all. And I'm just going to put it right on the back. Okay, so we got some glue. Hey, I like this because you can kind of rub the glue around. And the other side is more kind of precision-y. That's the only thing. Like, I want to hit the edges of this, but I can't do it with this side. So, but I do like how you can like spread the glue with that. I've never even tried to use that. I had this glue for a long time too. It's almost time for me to get some new glue. I want to make sure I get on the edges of this, because it kills me when the edges of stuff come up. I know I'm going to get glue on my fingers, but that's just going to be my life for today. Even though I just did my nails. But I kind of did my nails for you all. And it doesn't even matter if this goes down as straight for me. Because sometimes when things sit a little wonky, they still look fantastic. So now look, ta-da! So this is a fantastic little piece of ephemera that you can like put in a tuck spot. And let's do our next little piece here. I love these actual seed packets because they have a lot of color in them. I was able to really enhance the color on them, so they will look beautiful in the journal. We might try to put some in the journal. I'm working on one now. All right, so glue alert, glue alert. Got a little bit coming over the side. No problemo. That's probably like a good thing. So we got this sunflower one. It says, hello, sunshine. So we could stick that like, not only in a, we could put it in a pocket. And let's see. Just making sure I get those edges. I always say, give your edges love. Because if you don't, you'll be sorry later on. So originally when I was doing this Mindless this mindless little project. I wasn't going to put anything on here, and I was just sitting here, and I had these little small stamp size pieces on my desk, and I said, let me try those. And I really liked the way that they came out. So I don't know about you all, but usually my projects they evolve as I'm working on them, which is really nice. And it's a great way to use like your scrap paper as well. Because even if these scraps were if these were like white paper, I could still go back and coffee dye those. It would be easy enough to do. Even if you just sprayed like some coffee on them and just let it sit for a little while and then let it dry. Because, everybody don't have space to be going crazy with the coffee dyed papers. Of course, you can always purchase them as well. Shameless plug. I have them in my shop. That's my shameless plug. I'm not doing a lot of shameless plugs today. I'm just kind of working it out. It's been like a really, really quiet day for me. Like really enjoying the day. I haven't watched a lot of YouTube. I did watch a few things because I was trying to get some ideas on what I was going to cook today. And so while I was in the kitchen making my dinner, which I still have yet to eat, I decided to watch some videos and have a little wine at the same time, get in the mood to come on and chat with you all. All right, getting my edges. So you can see, it didn't take me that long to do these. I could put this one like on the top of the page with a nice little paper clip. That would be nice. I need to make some paper clips. I don't have that on my list. I'm going to have to put that in my book. Paper clips. So I don't have it. See, I can think of a million ideas. The thing is remembering those ideas. That's why I made that little notebook. Well, actually, I had the notebook already. I did make it. I had it for a while, and I decided that's what I would use it for. And I just keep it in my basket where I'm keeping my newly created ephemera. Yeah, these are very pretty, aren't they? I love them. I love just like handling all the little pieces and stuff. All right, and let's see here. We have some more in here. And maybe I'll use that too. Let's see how this looks. I don't like that. I think it needs color because I'm trying not to make things all monotoned also. So got to be careful with that. It's easy to make things monotone. And also these are they're a little bent because because this is so wet. So what I think I'm gonna do after I get off is put these under books so that they'll lay flat and they'll dry nice and flat as well. So let me prepare some more of these edges here with my vintage photo. Tim Holtz must make a ton of money on this stuff because everybody uses it, but he makes some fantastic products. It's like I hate him, but I love him at the same time. Because he has some good ideas, and I guess it's a little bit of envy there. And I had like a little bit of, these were actually some misfit cuts, but they don't look like it. It had like a little bit too much white on one spot, but they still work out pretty good. So I decided to use my misfits as well, because once you color them, they all look the same. They look very, very nice. So I don't know. I don't have anything upcoming this week. Now I know people are going to hate me when I say this, but I was thinking about going to the beach. Thinking about going to the beach this week sometime. I like going during the week between Monday and, well, that one doesn't fit. Like for between Monday and Friday because it's not a lot of people there, and I can just sit and relax. And there's like the only noise you hear is like the birds and a few boats, because I always go to the part of the beach where you can't drive on. I like that the best. And I just walk out. I walk out to the beach with all my stuff, like you would see people on TV with the coolers and umbrellas and all that good stuff. That's me walking out to the beach. But yeah, I'm a Tim Holtz groupie too. Who's not? I wonder, is there anybody who really will not buy his stuff? His stuff is fantastic. I hate to say it, but I love to say it. He does have some fantastic stuff. And I love using a lot of his things like in my mixed media too. My mixed media projects, which I haven't done any of that in a while either. I've just been, one reason why I haven't been on for a while is because I have been having house guests after house guests after house guests. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I enjoy all the people, because if I didn't enjoy, you wouldn't be coming to stay for any length of time. But I had a friend that came to stay, and then I had my cousins came to stay, and they were here for they were supposed to be here for like a week. And what had happened was they were here during the crazy snowstorm in Chicago, and they ended up staying for a few extra days because their flight got canceled. And it was no secret that I was happy that they had to stay. And they were I'm sure they were ready to go home, because there's no place like home. But I think we had a lot of fun, and we went to the beach while they were here, and there's a local winery here, and we went to the winery, and we did wine tasting, of course, and we bought home wine. And something that I didn't realize, fruit is really good in wine. I went to this place where you can pick your own blueberries and whatnot, and they had like this little general store. And I went to the general store, and they had some peaches. And I don't know if peaches are out of season or whatever, but they had peaches, and I bought those. And we just put like the peaches into the red wine, and oh my goodness, it was such a good combination. Nothing else, just red wine and the peaches. And I wish I had some peaches right now. Well, I'm not drinking any wine right now, but I had some earlier. But it was so delicious. So I wish I had that. So we did a few things. I always try to find like free things that we can do. And most of it is like nature type of things. So we went to a lake near here. And it's actually an alligator habitat. But don't be afeared. The alligators, well, I'm not going to say that they won't eat you or anything, but I'm sure they will eat you if you get too close to them. But normally you have to really be looking for the alligators. You don't really run into them. They have it so that you can like walk on a pier and you can see the alligators from the pier. So you don't have to really worry that much about those. All right, so I think I am finished with this, but I'm just going to put it up here. So we still have all these that we're going to glue on. So let's get the gluing. So I like going out to the little alligator lake and seeing the alligators. Some of them are really big too. Usually you see them in the water, so you don't see, well, not usually. I always see them in the water. I've never seen them on land, so I don't have to worry about that. Because I am not one of those crazy people that wants to ride an alligator. I know I saw on the news, this guy had his kid on the back of an alligator. That is so dang on ridiculous. Who does that? Does he know that alligators eat kids? Or can eat kids? Not me. Not getting on an alligator. I might live in Florida, but I'm not Florida country like that. No, sir. But I do like going out to that little lake. Oh, and then what happened when I was out there with me and my cousins were out there. This lady stops and she stops and she says, "Hey, I'm looking for this brewery place." And she says, "Do you know where it's at?" And I said, "Well, I don't stay right in this immediate area." And I asked her to let me see the map that she was going to. And it was like really close. So I was like, "Hey, let's go to the brewery company." So we went there. And we found the place all together. And the people, they were from Minnesota. I love talking to people. So we had a nice little talk while we were drinking our libations and having lunch. And the brewery company was a really nice company to go to. They actually made beer there, but I didn't have beer that day. I had like wine. I was driving, so I wasn't going to drink too much anyway, because I'm a goody two shoes. I'm not going to be like crazy driving and drinking a lot. I don't drink a lot anyway. I drink just enough to get my buzz on, and then I'm happy. I don't see why people even drink more than that. That's crazy. Why you want to drink until your eyes are crossed is beyond me. I've never been that guy. Never. Or girl. Let's get this glue. I'm trying to make sure I get the corners. Get some corner action going here. A little bit more. This glue seems like it's getting harder to get out. It might be drying a little bit. That's okay. Florida is a fantastic place to visit. And it's a fantastic place to live. I love it here because I'm not originally from Florida. But I love it here, and I think I'm going to stay here. This is my last stop. I'm not going anywhere. Florida is my spot. I said when I knew, believe it or not, when I was a kid in school, I had made a decision because I grew up in the snow. I grew up north, and I grew up in the snow, and I made a conscious decision. I said, I'm going to either, when I grow up, I'm going to live in Texas or I'm going to live in Florida. And here I am in Florida. So I can actually say I did something that I really wanted to do, and that's move to Florida. And I love it here. I think what I love the most about Florida is the good weather. I want to say I love the weather, but overall, I guess like any place, the downfall is the weather, because sometimes we have some crazy storms. But so far, we've made it through all the storms unscathed, and so I still like it. And I love the winter times, although with this global warming, which some people say that there's no global warming, and I don't know how you could say that, but with this global warming, I think the summers are a lot hotter down here now, and the winters are a lot warmer. Like we almost don't have a winter down here in Florida anymore. I don't even think, honestly, I don't think I even wore a light jacket this year. Most of the time when it was kind of cold, but not really, I would just wear like a little light jacket and I was okay. I don't even own like a winter coat. Can you believe that? Because I don't go up north during the winter. No, sorry, Bob, not if I can help it. I'll go in the summertime, but not in the wintertime. Because I don't like the snow, even though I grew up in it. I remember walking to school in the snow, no joke. And the snow there was like snow mounds on the side of the road that was like taller than me. And I remember one time going to school, and not even one time, like, you know, you see like those funny things that in movies and stuff where somebody might be walking on the side of the road and then a car goes by and they get splashed. I've gotten splashed before in the wintertime with slush on more than one occasion. So that kind of thing happens. And if they haven't, once they, shovel the snow and everything, they shovel it up on the sidewalk. So then you have to walk out in the street. It's crazy. That's when you're walking, because I had to walk to school. And when you're driving, I don't like driving in the snow either. Snow is beautiful when it's coming down, but I don't like driving in it. And then you're kind of stuck in a hot house because you got to have the heat on or else you're going to freeze. There's just some issues with snow. I have snow issues. Can you tell? She has snow issues. All right. Try not to jiggle this around too much. These almost look like little postage stamps. A little bit. Well, not little postage stamps. Like huge postage stamps, but I just as the name on the title of this video is, I named it Knacks because I didn't really know what to call these. They're like, knickknacks are like things that have like a one-time use, and they're just like little bits and pieces of stuff. So these are like some knickknacks. And I'm not a knick-knacky kind of person when it comes to the house. You know how people have knickknacks all over the house? That's not me. I don't like knickknacks. So I don't have to get a souvenir from every place that I go because I'm not a knick-knacky kind of girl. But a junk journal is a knick-knacky kind of place. I can put some stuff in a junk journal, which you all will see because we have a few more things to do to the journal that's in the series for how to make an easy junk journal. The link is also in the description for that, for the actual playlist, because I made a playlist. So you can, if you haven't seen it, you can actually binge on it if you wanted to. So Janice says she's thinking about moving here to Florida. I say, come on, girl. Florida is nice. But, I like it. But, it's not for everybody. But where I live at, I don't live in the country, but the people that live here, they act country. They don't even say the name of the city right. Everything's country, but I'm a slow city kind of girl anyway. I don't go out and party and all that stuff. So this place is perfect for me. All right, we have like one more of these to go, and then we can look and see. I'm gonna look and see what the stack is because we've been on for a little over an hour. So we'll see what our stack looks like. This was like the perfect mindless activity to do while I am not mindlessly chatting with my friends. Definitely. So you can leave a comment below and let me know what you think about this activity. Is it something that you'll try yourself? Are you motivated to try it? I mean, it's very easy. I didn't have to take out a bunch of extra stuff, that's for sure. So that's nice. All right, so now we have all of our, well, I'm sure I'll make more of these because I have to put this into my little book. You buy craft stuff as souvenir. Me too. I'd rather spend my money on craft stuff too. So this is what we have. Let's move this out the way. We got 2 big old stacks. So I did all this. Well, I would say there was like 5 of these I had done already. But for the most part, look at that. Look at all that ephemera. And ephemera goes so fast. Let me just show you all. I'm actually working on some books right now. This is one of them here, and it has a fabric cover on it. Let me just move that over because I actually want to take some stuff out. See, I was kind of testing in here some of these. So that one didn't have anything on it. So now I'll just take this one out and I'll just redo that. So I have some spots, and I need to make some envelopes, not envelopes, but like folders. So you can see I'm working through this one here, and these are all made with that coffee dyed paper as well. So definitely going to be, I still have some pockets to put in here, and you'll see a flip through of this whole thing because I know I'm just kind of rifling through here, but so you can stick. It had a little piece. I was kind of testing things. It had stuck in here, so I'm not going to go through this lovely journal just yet. You guys got a little sneak peek of that one. But what I think I'm going to do, I have a few more. I have some journal covers that I completed already. So I have a few more of these. So that's one of them. And then this one. I love this cover. I love this cover so much. I have no idea. I Frankenstein this one. This was a Frankenstein, and I love it. It's beautiful, and that's the inside of it. So I think what I'm going to do is put these together with you all on cam. And I love this one too. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Fabric covers. And then on the inside, I have this cardstock paper. They're just beautiful. And so they are all ready to get their papers inside. And so that's why I just need to have just like tons and tons and tons of these. So let's look through these. Let me see if I can get this close. Let's see if my camera is going to cooperate without having shadows and stuff. Okay. So, and then I'll just kind of hold them up as we go through them. So I hope you all enjoyed today. I hope you're inspired, or maybe while you're watching this, you are actually making some ephemera, some little junk journal knickknacks to go into your journals also. Because I'll probably be putting like a ton of these in each one of the journals. My hands are so dry. They just got dry too, working on this. But I love these, and like I said, they kind of curled up a little bit because of the wet glue, but that's easy to remedy. I'm just going to stick a big old dictionary on top of them and call it a day on that. So now you can really see the actual stamps, and I just stamp things in different places, and some I stamped off the sides. You can use any kind of stamp. You don't even need a stamp. If you can draw, you can like just doodle a little bit. And you can see it didn't take me that long to make this. So if you do like I'm doing and you make some ephemera every day, you'll end up with a lot of ephemera. And that's what I'm going for. I wanted to have a variety of ephemera. So like I won't work on this type of ephemera tomorrow. I'm going to work on something different so I can have some variety. But at the same time, I put this in my little book so I don't have to remember when I get to one of those days and I think, oh, what am I going to do today? I'll just make some of this ephemera. I'll look at my book, and on that page it'll say knickknacks, and we'll just make some knickknacks. I don't know. I think my camera doesn't want to focus well. I'm moving around a little bit too much, and I love these little seed packets too. They were like just perfect for this, and I already had them on my desk. So one good thing is to have like you want to have some small pieces first, and then just have some lots of small pieces and kind of build things up. I think it's going out of focus when I have the ones that have the color on here. I'm trying to be still. So my apologies on that one. And again, I just did this with some scraps from my coffee dyed paper. I just went around the edges with some of our Tim Holtz, our Tim Holtz distressed inks. And I have some different colors too. Next time I may try to use some different color inks around the edges to make it look vintagey. And you can actually write on the back still. You got the front and the back. That's what I'm going for, making it a practical piece. So you can write on it. And these will fit in envelopes too. I have like some mini envelopes that I made. And these will definitely fit into the mini envelopes. And then we have some. I love these. That came out so nice. And then I just have this plain one. I think I need to go back and stamp. And I'll do that later. And then that. So let's see, how many pieces do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. And so with these two, that would make 50. So we made 50 pieces of ephemera today. So I want to thank you all for coming on with me today. I really enjoyed chatting with you and telling you some of my crazy stories about my life that nobody really cares about but me. But I still enjoy coming on, so I'll probably be doing more videos like this as well. So I am going to go ahead and shove off because I have some dinner that's calling my name. And I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. So with that, I'm going to say love, peace, and hair grease from your sweet lotus blossom and lovable Lizzie. Have a fantabulous day and enjoy life.